Good morning. I'm Pamela Aaralyn, a mystic who channels Christ conscious beings. If you're watching today, I just wanted to take a moment to thank you. And I just love being here with you every morning. It's become like satsang for me, to sit with other people who have the same goal and direction, So thank you for that. What we're doing in this course, in this series, we're channeling a whole bunch of sacred texts, starting with this one. And look at this, we're only about here. You got a long time with me every day. So here's your collect $200, get out of jail free card. If you don't want to do the rest of this, click bye-bye now. Just kidding. Today we're only going to do a small amount, not all of this. But over time, we will do all this. And then maybe we'll pick another book together based upon your suggestions. I'll put a poll out on my page. It's a really good reason to subscribe and click the notification bell, is because you get to be notified of polls that I'm doing that help me know who you want me to channel next, what you want me to teach you next. Things like that go up on my YouTube community page. Good morning, Jasmine. I'm not as stuffy as yesterday, but I'm still a little. How's the mic doing today? Is everything good? Today we are going to be reading from A Course of Love. And because I'm a channel, we're going to be stopping to channel the being that the Course is about, who is Jesus. So we are on chapter 5, which is about relationship. And what I mean by relationship is two perceivably different beings connecting, and it's not always in relationship in the way that perhaps many are thinking I mean when I say relationship, but love in relationship to your idea of love. So that could be humans in relationships, that could be how you view yourself, your relationship to yourself, anything like that, your relationship to unity consciousness, anything like that is what this is about. Okay. Yeah, so many people joining. It's like I'm getting a small little group every day that I'm recognizing some of your names, and so happy to see that you keep coming back and just sitting with me. It's so powerful sometimes just to sit together, and I'm so grateful that you give me that opportunity to sit with you. Makes me feel really good when I'm with other people who are on the path, Jesus always said in A Course of Miracles, the only goal is freedom and the only direction is God. So that's what we're doing together. Okay, so I'm going to read from 5.1, and I'll stop whenever I hear or see Jesus telling me to stop, and then we'll listen to what he has to say. Oh, question. Have I read The Course in Miracles? Yes. I read it a very unique way. I tried reading it, ACIMers, you're going to understand exactly what I'm talking about, most likely. I tried reading it from front to back, chapter 1 on, and it has a particular logical language for a more creative, empathic mind such as myself, I could not. It just was not getting in. Like, I felt what they were talking about, but my mind was like, what? So I followed Dr. Joy Dietrich's advice. They call her Dr. J. She's an exceptional teacher. Maybe I'll get with her so I can link it up. I don't know if she has a YouTube channel or not, but we're really close friends. She actually officiated our recent wedding ceremony. So she said, have you tried reading the teacher's manual, Pamela? She's got the Dr. J voice. And I was like, well, no, Dr. J, I have not. I'm not a teacher of this course. I haven't read it at all. And she goes, oh, no, honey. Jesus has told us we're all teachers and students of God. And I was like, oh, okay. Yeah. I'm like, so that's interchangeable. Today I'm playing the role of a teacher and you're playing the role of a student, but there's so many teachers out there as well. And I learn from you daily, right? So I read the teacher's manual, went straight to the back, and I went, I like that. I still don't understand what they're talking about. When I go read from chapter 1 on, she said, oh, so now do the worksheet in the back of it. So I started doing the worksheet, and she said, every time you do, just say exercise 1 of the worksheet, go read chapter 1. And when I did it that way, for those of you who are a little bit more empathic, connection by feeling and your sentience and you have to learn more hands-on. So that's how I read A Course in Miracles. Maybe we'll do it next if I get enough requests, but we're going to give everyone a chance to, when we get done with this big, massive honking thing, we'll do another, and it may or may not be ACIM. We'll do a poll. All right, is God a person? No. No, you and I have gone this roundabout before, Krishna man, and I love the Krishna consciousness. God is a consciousness that we create stories and personifications out of, and because we are powerful essences, that power then responds, and we create a personality consciousness to God. And God responds. There's a response from the universe that then, if there's enough people believing in that, then you get Jesus Christ, like Christ consciousness, Krishna consciousness, all of that. Okay? All right, so let's get going. Verse 5.1 says, the Christ in you is wholly human and wholly divine. You can't make this up. We were just talking about that. Jesus is smiling over, standing to the right of me, smiling and nodding. So it's both. He says your answer is both. He literally answered you. And he says when we try to separate that out, the mind creates a personality construct, and we call that the Christ or God or Krishna. And it's all divine. Moving on in this chapter, 5.1, it says, as the wholly divine, nothing is unknown. As the wholly human, everything has been forgotten. Thus we began to relearn the known as the one who already possesses all. One is capitalized, he says. He holds up his hand to stop us. And the one and everything is within that one, which means that he says all of your creative notions and stories become the structure of divinity's presence when divinity pretends and dreams and experience. That's what Krishna is. It is a pretend and a dreaming of a Christed experience, which is very divine. Moving on in this one, we're about halfway down of 5.1. It says, it is the joining of the human and divine that ushers in love's presence. As all that caused you fear and pain falls away, and you recognize again what love is. It is this joining of the human and divine that is your purpose here, the only purpose worthy of your thought. Did you guys feel that like I did? That just went whew. So he stops us here. He says, feel for a moment with me. Allow your minds to relax. Could this mean that everything that you've been casting aside about yourself, every component of your judgments of you, which you have deemed unworthy, which you have shamed, which you have tried in your processes and modalities to heal or integrate, could this mean that inner child, as you have called it, is worthy as it is precisely? Not a moment better or worse. It doesn't require your healing, only love's presence. It doesn't require an integration, for it is already a whole of God, the everything and the one within the one. It doesn't need to become better. It doesn't need to feel less pain to be aware of the love that it is. This inner child, as you've called it. Could this mean that your purpose here is simply realizing this is the only purpose worthy of such thinking. 5.2 says, you who have so filled your mind with senseless wanderings and thoughts that think of nothing that is real, rejoice that there is a way to end the chaos. The world you see is chaos, and nothing in it, including your thoughts, are trustworthy. He stops us here and says, notice I didn't say no one in it. I said nothing in it. Things, circumstances, all reactions to such are only there for your presence and responsive love. If you cannot see it as such, it is a call for even more love. You may call that what you will. You may call this working forgiveness. You may call this working integration. You may call this working healing. You may call it what you will. But rejoice. Be joyful in the end of such chaos. Nothing in the world is true. Nothing, including your thoughts, are trustworthy. And it also doesn't mean that it is imperfect. Again, they are dreams. Dream them in a more celestial manner, if you will, but recognize that thoughts are dreams too. We're still in 5.2, and it says, this is why your thoughts must be newly dedicated. Dedicated to the only purpose worthy of your thought. The purpose of joining with your real self, the Christ in you. 5.3 says, I said earlier, it is only through union with me that you learn, but it is only in union with me that you are yourself. S is capitalized there. Now we must expand your understanding of union and of relationship as well as your understanding of me. He stops here and says, the word Christ is an essence, not a person. Jesus the Christ. Buddha was also the Christ. Many Christed ones exist. You give them persona, but the truest essence is spirit. It is also within you, this essence. 5.4 says, union is impossible without God. God is union. Is this not like saying God is love? Love is impossible without union. The same is true of relationship. God creates all relationship. When you think of relationship, you think of one relationship and then another. The one you share with this friend or that, with husband or wife, with child or employer or parent. In thinking in these specific terms, you lost the meaning of the holy relationship. Relationship itself is holy. 5.5 says, relationship exists apart from particulars. This is what you can't conceive of and what your heart must newly learn. All truth is generalizable because truth is not concerned with any of the specific details or forms of your world. You think relationship exists between one body and another, and while you think this is so, you will not understand relationship or union or come to recognize love as what it is. 5.6 says, relationship is what exists between one thing and another. It is not one thing or another thing. It is not a third thing in terms of being a third object, but it is something separate. A third something. He stops us and says, so you have your concept of you, and you have your concept of other, and then you have a specific essence. And if for a moment with me you could visualize a ring around you, as symbolized by the ring of marriage, in such symbol, the circle is perceivably the thing, the third thing. Even that third thing is still the same essence that is within you and perceived other. To complete 5.6, it says, you realize that a relationship exists between your hand and a pencil when you go to write something down, but it is a relationship you take so completely for granted that you have forgotten it exists. All truth lies in relationship, even one so simple as this. The pencil is not real, nor the hand that grasps it. Yet the relationship between the two is quite real. When two or more are joined together, he's got quotes around that, is not an injunction for bodies to unite. It is a statement that describes the truly real, the only reality that exists. It is the joining that is real, that causes all creation to sing a song of gladness. No one thing exists without another. Cause and effect are one. Thus, one thing cannot cause another without their being one and joined in truth. Okay, that's it for today, guys. I'll see you. Actually, I'm not sure if I'll see you tomorrow morning. I believe tomorrow morning's Thanksgiving. I'm going to try to make a go of it, but there's a lot of cooking to do, so I may be here earlier, like a lot earlier. Otherwise, it'll be later in the day when all the cooking's done and everybody's had their meals. So I'll try to make a go of that tomorrow. And if not, I'll see you Friday. Thanks a lot. Don't forget today we have the thought and frequency management class, which is also a satsang where we sit together, and I'm going to be teaching, I call them, the threes, 3-second to 30-second techniques for thought and frequency management. So for those of you who have these very busy lives, it's Kriya, quick Kriya, pranayama and breath practices, all the things like that kind of help us very quickly get back to our grace. And today, the theme of today's class is connecting with grace. So I'll see you at 1 p.m. on patreon.com/Pamela Aaralyn. I'll see you soon. Bye.